So if you'd like to try the perineal massage, it's a perineal vaginal massage, sort of birthing from within style. I would love for you to give it a try and let me know how it goes. Here is what you will do. You will need a towel, some castor oil. If you don't have castor oil, you can use coconut oil or almond oil. And you want to wash your hands, so the partner who's going to do the vaginal or the perineal massage will just make sure your hands are clean. You don't necessarily need gloves unless you want gloves, but just nice clean hands. And so the expectant mother will be lying on a bed, preferably a bed. You could do it on the floor, on a mat, on a blanket. And so the position is really important. She wants to lie back. She'll be on her back and legs open. So on a bed is probably the most comfortable. And partner will come in and try to comfortably sit so that her legs are out and open, and you're going to weave your legs under her. And she might want to actually put a pillow or two under her butt so that her whole pelvis is lifted up a little bit higher, so you can see and kind of reach into the vagina a little bit better. But massage person also needs to be comfortable. So if you're there and your legs are hurting and your hips are hurting, it's going to be harder for you. You can almost transfer that energy of tension into her. So make sure that your body mechanics are good and that you're comfortable too. So she's lying down, you're lying in with your legs open and in towards her. So you're probably only going to be about 12 inches. Your body and her vagina will be maybe about 12 inches space, so you can kind of reach in and massage. Okay, so making yourself comfortable. So what you'll do is you're going to start with a little bit of oil on your index finger, and you'll put your finger, you'll take a little bit of the oil and you'll sort of trace down from her clitoris and from the inner labia. So there's the outer lips and there's the inner lips. And so just massage a little bit of oil down through her, gently massage and rub in between the inner labia and the outer labia and into the inner labia. And then eventually, you're almost like petting. It just feels nice and different than like a vaginal exam. You're stroking, you're petting, and you're watching her, is she tensing up? And you're just noticing, and you're breathing with her. And then eventually you're gonna find the introitus, which is the opening. You're gonna put your finger right there in the introitus and just hold it right there. I would say you're gonna insert it a little bit, maybe just like the first knuckle. So you're really got your finger on her perineal sponge, that pad there. If this was a clock, if her vaginal opening were a clock, 12 o'clock would be the top, the top part of the vagina opening. 3 o'clock would be to her, your right, her left. 6 o'clock would be straight down towards the bed. 9 o'clock would be over towards her right, your left. So imagine a clock. So you're pressing that pad down and just pulse her perineal sponge a few times, like you're ringing a doorbell. Just notice, just breathe, notice what she feels. Okay, this is where baby will stretch through. So you pulse it. And after pulsing it a few times, just gently massage. You might have to get some more oil in your finger, but massage like a U shape, a happy face, upside down rainbow from 6 o'clock to 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock. Okay, so do that a few times. Notice her. You can give more pressure if she's okay with it, but notice, is she tensing? If she is, then just stop and let's breathe together. I'm gonna stop and let the body relax. Oh, I noticed your hips got tight. Let's just soften and let go. I'll keep my finger here. Would you like me to take my finger out? So really noticing and communicating what you're noticing. Okay, so then after you do this for a minute or two, then you're going to take your finger out Now we're going to practice the actual kind of like the baby's head coming down, birthing and stretching. So you're going to take, and the massager will take your arms and cross them like this, and the back of your index and middle fingers are going to touch like this. Okay? And so you have your ankle, or your wrists are crossed. And then you're going to actually insert the 4 fingers into the vagina. And you're going to go slowly. And if she starts to tense up, then we don't want her to feel tense and pain and she's enduring when you're inserting. Okay, there should be this relaxed quality. This isn't part of the exercises to like endure. Okay, this can be pleasurable, this can be enjoyable. And so you're doing this, and if she starts to tense up, you notice and you stop. I'm not going to go any farther unless you tell me. I'm going to stop until you feel relaxed. And would you like me to take my fingers out entirely? If she wants to stop, then you stop, because it's also about her feeling like she has some control in this and she doesn't have to just power through this. It's about listening to her body. Her body's tensing up. It's telling her to stop. So you go in, and maybe she does tense up, and then she says, oh, just stop right there. And then you guys breathe together. Breathe until you feel that she softens, and she feels she softens. And when she feels ready, then she will say, okay, go ahead a little bit more. And you can try a little bit more. So you want to try to get in to about 2 knuckles, depending on how big your fingers are, about 2 knuckles or maybe a little bit more than 2 knuckles. But the process of going in is also part of the learning, and tracking, seeing where is she tightening and where is she okay. And also for you, are you breathing? So let's say you get in and you're about a little bit more than 2 knuckles in, okay? And then you're going to start your contraction. You're going to have a little clock. I forgot to mention, have a clock close by where you can see the second hand has a minute. And then once the contraction starts is when you start to stretch. So you're going to start stretching your fingers inside her vagina like this, open. And what you're going to do is you're going to start opening really slowly, and when she feels like, ooh, that's pretty intense right there, that's where you're going to stop. So when she starts to feel like, that's kind of uncomfortable, that stretch. So mamas, I want you to feel like you're getting a little bit of an edge, a little bit of discomfort, not super painful, but it's like, it doesn't feel so good. That's where you're going to tell him, stop right there, and he's going to hold it. He's going to hold it right there. And it might only be like an inch or less than an inch the first time. And then he'll hold, and then you'll breathe together. Or you're going to use your birthing from within. Breathe. He's going to watch the clock for a minute. He's going to hold that intensity, and you're going to breathe. Maybe you'll make sounds. Okay, and he might join you with sounds. You can try that. But massage people, partners who are massaging, you also want to check in with yourself. Are you breathing? Are you tracking her? Are you watching yourself and holding? Once a minute is done, bring the fingers back together and pause here. This is like the time between a contraction when there's no intensity. Okay, so just pause here, down regulate, rest, maybe discuss a little bit about, how that was, what could be better. Okay, then again, next one, this time try to stretch it a little bit more. See if you can get a little bit wider. And then same thing, breathe, and this time try the sound voo. Very low voo sound. Voo helps really travel deep down the vagus nerve, and it can really help to soften and open the pelvis. So, and partners might want to voo with her. So just give that a try. When you get to that intensity, breath awareness, you can do your circular ovarian breathing, but try voo. Okay, so this time you might be a little wider. Then when the minute is up, close the fingers. Okay. Then what I want you to do is slide down a little bit closer. This last one, you're going to slide a little bit closer to the introitus, to the opening of the vagina. And this time, So you're not all the way out, but you're just down a little bit. Maybe you're only just past the first knuckle, okay? And you're gonna come down a little lower, and this time you're gonna really stretch, like the baby is moving down now, okay? Baby's getting closer to the skin on the outside of the introitus, okay? So now you're closer, and you're gonna maybe stretch it a little bit more. She's gonna tell you when to stop, trying to go for a little more intensity, but without like intense pain, right? So know where to tell him to stop. He's gonna open and stretch, and you might even just hook your fingers a little bit down there on her, the perineal muscle there. It's actually like a band, like a circle. You can almost hook around it. So now you're going a little bit wider, and she's feeling a stretch, maybe even a burn. And when she finds that edge where it's like, ooh, that's kind of intense, you hold it. Watch for the 1 minute contraction, and then use all your birthing from within skills together to move through that sensation, that stretch, okay? And see how it changes. After the minute is up, come back together with the fingers. Just hold and be. Use your breath, down regulate, let it go. And then slowly come out. And then this is really important. Hold her. Put your palm right on her labia, right on her vulva, and then wrap your fingers over her pubic bone. So her clitoris will be right about here, her lips will be here, and then you just wrap and hold. And you can even push a little bit. And this is like you're closing the portal. It's like the cave, right? It's like what you just did was really beautiful. You went somewhere sacred, and now you're just closing and breathing and holding her. And she feels held. It feels good. Unlike a gynecological exam, a pap smear, or a vaginal exam, just hold with reverence. Yeah, breathe here for a minute. And then something else that can feel really nice after being stretched open is massaging and pinching the labia. So you can actually take her labia, and you can just, the outer labia and inner labia like a sandwich, and you just pinch it. And pinch it all the way from the top by the clitoris all the way down. Pinch, pinch, pinch. And even try pinch and pull. Pinch and pull. Pinch and pull. And almost like a massage, like pulse, 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 pulse. So you're closing the lips. It feels so good after being stretched open. Somebody's actually bringing the energy back to balance. So, and then you're gonna sit up, and you're gonna talk about what worked. Use it as a exercise of communication. Sit up and keep it in like a frame. So you'll say one thing that you really liked and you learned about this, and one thing that you would like to be different next time, and know what you could try next time. And each of you will take a turn answering those questions. And so when the one person is talking, the other person is really just listening. So practice that as well. And let me know how it goes. See ya.